tell me about where you grew up.
In Chicago. My dad was a hitman for Al Capone, uh, and I was also an altar boy. My mother wanted me to become a priest, but that wasn't in my blood. Well, I don't know. I can't mention the guys that he knocked off, but I know that he's had blood on his shirt. My mother used to worry about him all the time. He used to pack a gun inside here, and he was gone all through all the hours of the nights, and that was back in the days of the Valentine Massacre. It was rough coming up. Chicago was a tough little town. In those days, you usually went through the Golden Glove in order to become anywhere known, even as an amateur. You had to get into the Golden Gloves and win the Golden Gloves or something to become popular. So as far as fights go, I had like 110 amateur fights. I'm saying starting from Chicago when I was 15 years old, where I lied about my age. My dad wanted to get away from gangland, U.S. Gangland. So what he did, we packed, put the mattress on top of the car. You know, it was 3 kids, me, there were 4 kids, me and my brother and two sisters. And we came out here, we came out here to California. My dad changed his name from Rosselli to Barnum, for reasons I don't know, but anyway, maybe they were after him, who knows. About every other week we fought, which they don't do that today. You know, every other week I fought a pro fight. I'd have to fight maybe 30 or 40 amateur fights before I even got to be a main eventer. So, and I mean, these are tough kids. I wasn't what you call a devastating puncher, but I was a good puncher and a good boxer. I was a mix. I was a boxer, puncher, mixed. And I was fat. One thing I had, I think more than any fighter, my weight was speed. I was fast. That's why I counterpunched a lot. I took advantage. That's another thing they don't do today. I don't see them counterpunch. Either they're too slow or they don't know how. I don't know. But counterpunching is a great thing. You're taking advantage of a guy's weight. When a guy throws a punch at you, you sidestep and you hit him. He's coming and you're going. Counterpunching is very great. And inside fighting. Today, the fighters fight. They throw 3 punches, and the referee has to break them up. Boom, boom, boom. They grab each other and hug. The referee has to. I've never seen referees work so hard in my life today. Augie DeMille, and Augie DeMille sold me to, got sick, and he sold me to Tony Palazzola, like I said. Tony Palazzola, who also managed Jimmy Doyle. Remember Jimmy Doyle? I mean, he had the connections. So.
He got you fights.
Yeah, he got me fights. He got me a fight with Johnny Bratton in Chicago, which was my hometown. 1945, and I defeated Johnny Bratton. And I fought Willie Joyce in the Chicago Stadium. He got me that fight, and got me a nice piece of change.
This guy, I mean, I don't know if you can say this, was this guy in the mob? This guy?
Yes, he was. Tony Palazzola you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And in those days, you more or less had to be in with those kind of people, or you wouldn't get what you want. I don't care how good of a fighter you are. I mean, it was controlled by the mob. Boxing was controlled by the mob. There's no secret about that. You know that, don't you, Don? There were so many good fighters, too, that never made it to the top because of that, because their manager was not inside. Tony had a little bit of a temper. I mean, he would back me up against the wall, say, "Look, punk," you know, stuff like that. I ain't gonna hit him. The guy's got crutches. He's only got one leg. He knows that, but he was a tough cookie. So.
Izzy Klein, when he worked in his corner, when he worked your corner.
Oh, Izzy Klein was the greatest cut man. He was known in boxing as the greatest cut man in the world. I mean, you could be cut from here to here, and he'd stitch you up in time for the next round. Like Willie Joyce and I, Izzy Klein was in my corner at the Chicago Stadium when I boxed the draw with Willie Joyce. Willie Joyce and I were both cut up pretty good. But anyway, Izzy Klein took pretty good care of me. I got stitches. I got cuts in both my eyes because I had to go to the hospital after the fight, even though I got a draw with him. When Palazzolo died, Babe McCoy stepped in and took over.
How did Palazzolo die?
Oh, I don't remember. I think he had...
It was a disease. He wasn't knocked off or anything.
I'm not sure. It might have been diabetes or something. I don't know. He had one leg gone, you know.
Tell me what kind of guy Babe McCoy was.
Well, to me, he was wonderful. A lot of people didn't like him, but Babe McCoy was wonderful to me. I was always going over to his house. He was, and anything I wanted, he gave me. If I wanted a loan, I wanted $4,000 or $5,000. Here, Joey, take it, because he knows he'd make it back anyway.
And then you would get paid per fight anyway. You
Right, I get paid right.
And you didn't feel like you were getting ripped off or anything, or?
Well, you don't dare ask any questions. I was in his room when many fights were winners were predicted. Where winners were predicted.
It's a safe bet.
Safe bet.
A safe bet.
Yeah, safe bet, correct. And I couldn't, sometimes I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But, you can't say anything. Once you walk out of that room, you're dead. You say anything, oh, you're a dead person. But it's just the way, it's not only Babe McCoy, that's the way boxing was in those days, like I say. And including myself too, you go down, sometimes you go to a certain town like New Orleans, you're fighting the golden boy of New Orleans. Do you think in those days, there's no way, if you're really going to go there to beat him, you're not going to get the fight. So now you either starve or you do what they say. They were all close. Like Maxie Dukeson and I were close. But him being the hometown boy
Worcester, Massachusetts?
got the decision.
Well, you knew he was going to get the decision.
Yeah.
So how do you fight the fight? Would you have been able to knock the guy out? Do you think you could have beat him?
I don't know. Don, what do you think? How would this hurt me? How would this? What I'm about to say? Well, let me tell you. I was the underdog, and they thought if anybody could beat Wesley Mouzon, I could. Well, anyway, I stepped in there, 10 rounds. I had him on the floor twice. And like I say, it was his hometown. And the fight was very close. They gave it to him. I should have won. See, that's what I'm talking about. In those days, everybody you fight is a good fighter. Wesley Mouzon was a fantastic. He's another Ray Robbins, Sugar Ray Robbins. Wesley Mouzon. Ask anybody. Look at his record. Wesley Mouzon was a great fighter. And here they put me in with him. And I wanted to beat him. I really did want to beat him, but I didn't get the decision. Eileen Eaton, Cal Eaton owned the Olympic Auditorium, but Babe McCoy controlled it. Babe always had sugar diabetes, and he was always taking a needle and going, he was very fat. And I used to be up there when he'd take that needle and go, boom. They put some knowledge into me. How to throw a left jab, how to throw a right cross, how to throw a left hook, how to box inside. They teach you all this. See, they were ex-fighters. They know. That's what I mean. I can't see today trainers trying to tell a fighter how to fight when they don't know how to fight themselves. I got more popular when I became, when I started fighting at the Hollywood Legion because all the movie stars would see me. Marilyn Monroe, Jane Russell, so many, Mickey Rooney, Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, and me at Mateo's restaurant. This is me and Ricardo Montalban, good friend of mine, and that's me on Gunsmoke. This is me and Robert Stack on The Untouchables. Well, she was going to my fights. She started going to ringside at the Hollywood Legion Stadium, like I say. She seen me fight at the Olympic. And, you know, she liked the idea that I was a fighter. Like I say, she loves athletes. And she asked me if I would like the bodyguard for her. In those days, it was packed with movie stars. That's the Hollywood Legion. Very colorful. They had a big band there. Makes you feel like, you know, fighting.
The band would play while you were fighting?
Oh, not while I was fighting, no, but when you're getting in the ring. Da-da, 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 da-da. You know, it gives you a spirit, gives you the spirit.
And with
That's another thing. You don't hear the bands anymore today. What happened to the band? Well, I went down to Mexico, brought back a couple of boys. One of them was named Lauro Salas. The other was named Mario Trigo. Two very popular boys. They became popular. I made a good fighter out of Mario Trigo. And one time I walked in a bar and I caught him there. I said, "What are you doing? You know, you're supposed to be fighting at the Olympic next week. We're supposed to be doing road work tomorrow. What are you doing here drinking?" And he says, "Cállate la boca." In Spanish, that means shut your mouth. He got up and hit me on the chin and cut my lip. So I knew if I had hit him and cut him up any, I would be out of a payday because he had a fight because I was his manager at that time. So I said, "I'll take care of you later, punk." So after the fight, I didn't work in his corner that fight night. And after the fight, I went to Babe McCoy and I said, "Babe," I says, I want to go back into boxing. And Babe says, "What for?" And when I told him what for, I said, "I want to kick the hell out of my own fighter." And Babe says, "What?" In the 8th round, I'll never forget, I heard him. See, Mario Trigo was a switch hitter. But I knew, training him all the time, I knew when he was going to switch. So I stepped in and hit him with a left hook because he bounced off the rope. Because when he bounces off the rope, he comes out as a southpaw or an orthodox. And I hit him with a left hook, and he kind of shook, and he grabbed me. And I remember saying, "Hang in there." Then it all dawned on me. His mother told me to take care of him. It's her only son. Please take care of him when we were in Mexico, you know. And she didn't want him to get hurt, and all that come to my mind. So I held him up, and I said, "Pégale, pégale," which means punch, punch. And so we stayed in there until the 10th round. But I got the decision very decisively. I did teach him a lesson. Well, like I say, at that time, I was considered washed up. Mario Trigo was still fighting on top. And like I say, I was controlled. Babe McCoy had a lot to do with that fight. That's all I can say.